Okay, in this episode I'm going to show you and review an EZPA PA system, okay? Now, I'm trying to review things that no other review show would touch upon, and this is something that I use on a regular basis to perform in my shows. I'm going to have to make this nice and stronger because it's a bit heavier than I thought it was going to be. So, what is this? This is basically a microphone system, radio microphone, that you can use to your shows, but it's nice and portable. This is the whole thing. All the microphones are in the back of this. It has a top carrying handle, and there's various features which I'm going to go over, along with a shoulder strap, so that you can walk into a gig, whatever you're doing, a stage show, parlour show. If you're a stand-up comedian, you need something just portable to do the job. This is the most usable thing I can think of. When I purchased it, you had a choice between two, and that was one with a bag or one with a handheld mic. Or you could buy, but I suggest, if you, depending on what you're doing, buy the one with a handheld mic, because the bags sell separately for like £4. So eBay was the best place to find that. The bags were £4 and the handheld mics are harder to find. So there you go, that choice of two. This is the model which uses SD cards, okay? Now, a few things on this one is the old version was a cassette deck, and obviously we've moved past that. It also has a USB slot, but I don't use that, although you could do. I'm using an SD card, and to note, this is a 256 megabyte, which allows it to have approximately 50 songs on it in MPEG-3 format. It plays MPEG-3. Now that is, I think it can take up to 500 megabyte. Well, whatever the double is. I don't think it can take I know it cannot take anything above 2 gig, or maybe the card I had was defective for any reason, but it was incompatible with anything above 2 gigs. So bear in mind, you're not going to put your whole arsenal of songs onto a single thing, including the USB. I've had a 4 gig USB stick and it didn't work in this. So it does seem to have a limit on its file size, but this is meant as a kind of portable thing anyway. It's not meant to replace a DJ's outset. You've got your various buttons, power. It's got 2 power switches. This one operates the power for the actual microphone. The one below it turns on the MPEG-3. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that the song that starts playing, yeah, okay, it's royalty free. I'm going to turn that down. Okay, so you've also got an echo, which I keep constantly off because I don't get the point of it, and you've got a tone which is always switched maximum. I've turned that, so basically it means the quality of the voice, which is what it's mainly for, is that it's best it possibly can be. So tones on high, echoes completely off. It comes with a folder structure, and basically it means that you can have 2 folders, maybe more, but I've never tried, and you just press the folder button to switch between them. If you've ever handled systems like this before, you get quite used to it quite quickly. And you've got your various features. You can control the inputs with the input switch here, so if I've got different features built in. If you wanted to plug your iPod in, or your iPad, or things like that, you've got controls on the side for line in, which means you need to buy a lead which goes from the headphone out of your iPod and just plug it straight into there. You can put a handheld mic into the top port here, and you've also got additional features like a headphone socket, which I've never used any of those, to be honest, because the thing's radio mic'd. Radio miking wise, you've got a top radio antenna. However, I've never ever opened it. It's always worked fine for me in its folded down state, so it means I don't have to worry about people snapping it off. I did in the old cassette deck one, that could happen. The plug lead is your standard figure of 8 lead. Useful to know, because if for any reason this falls out or you lose it, they're easy enough to source. I place it into this pocket on the side, which I'm going to do later. There's a little pocket there just for it. I'll do it after the review. Okay, the little bag at the front. It comes with a headset microphone. Let me just pick that up. The remote control, however, the remote control sensor, it's infrared I believe, and it's right on the back, which means you have to be on top of it Okay, so yeah, the remote's kind of useless. It does do its job, but you kind of have to fight the remote a little bit. It's the only kind of real negative. The radio mic takes square batteries. Yeah, I don't know what else to call them. 9 volts rectangles. I've got 3 in there, but they last quite a while. I've kept them on. The actual microphone, I've had the clippers come off, and one day, normally I just put this in my pocket anyway, so I've actually kept it off because I like to have it in my pocket. It means I'm not worried about it falling off. But a little tip for people: in my old one with the cassette deck, when this snapped, I took it off, got an old tape measure, took the clip off a tape measure, and it fits in perfectly. So if your clip on a radio mic ever breaks, just go buy a tape measure from the 99p shop and take the little back of it and put it on these. There you go. So 99p can fix it from a tape measure. It's just a screwdriver, you just peel it off and put them on to the clip and play. Okay, so let's do it. You're not going to be able to get the best definition of how good this works. If I put it in, it's a screw base headset mic jack. It tells you the frequency it's working on the back. Now, if you were to buy 2 or 3 of these, because I know a magician who uses 2 of these, one on either side of his stage, you want to make sure you buy the same frequency so that the radio mic goes to both at the same time, because you can get them in different frequencies. Your standard headset mic, I think this is the one that came with it. I've had so many. Just so we don't get feedback. There you go. You turn that off, turn that down. There we go. There we go. So there we go. We've got a microphone working on a reasonable level. I suppose it did remind me. I'm going to turn this off now. It did remind me of something that you should know about. Is that when the music is on and the volume switch is on at the same time, they can both work, but you do get feedback problems. So normally you wouldn't want them both. But you have to bear that in mind, that you won't be able to get the best level of volume that you want with both of them on at the same time. Okay, that is a kind of little thing, but it's not bad. Okay, so this is a system all built into this one little device, makes things like nice and easy to cart around. Great if you've got shows, great if you're doing a gym class or Zumba or something like that, and you need to just have something which you can wear on you, and it takes this frequency across the way. I believe that's actually, I've got it covered up, but I believe it's 30 watt. I actually can't, let me see if I can tell you that actually. No, I think it's 30 watt, it'll say it on the adverts, but this is something I do recommend. I give it 95%, 95. I can't give it 100 because of the problem with the sound distortion between the audio and the music at the same time. I'm not that bothered about the minimum number of songs on the card because it's not an iPod. You can't jump to the song, you can only go across one by one. So having 50 songs on there in 2 folders makes it nice and easy to jump around where I want to without too much problems. So yes, I do recommend this. I've had 3 of these throughout the years. The first one had cassettes. Is in the shed now. The only reason I don't use it is because I upgraded to this. The second one, the battery eventually died on it, but I've used that for many years, and basically I bought a third one just because I wanted the spare components, mainly the handheld mic, which I don't even have it. I don't use the handheld mic, I only use the headset mic. But yeah, 95%. It's a good product if you need a portable PA. Quality to the sound is as good as I'm happy with. Yes, there'll be some experts out there who start thinking, we should be using Bosch mics, but yeah, I don't care about them. I only care about something that's cheap and works. So there you go. Enjoy!